What's up, guys? Welcome back. We're going to be breaking down this weekend's fight night where we've got an amazing banger of a main event between Aljamain Sterling and Yusuf Zalal. Two of the most entertaining strikers in the division. Definitely so. I don't know if I've seen better, but yeah, we'll try to break this down. I know it's going to be a hard fought match. You've got Aljo who's going to come in and throw some strikes and try to get the fight to the ground, and then you've got Yusuf Zalal who's going to attempt to not let this fight go to the ground. Which will we pick who wins? Find out later in Dragon Ball Z, I guess. We're gonna start off with the early prelims, but first, join my Tapology group. This one, oh man, we gonna have a day. Go to tapology.com/group/2048 and put in your picks like I'm about to do every single week, especially on the numbered cards like 2 weeks ago. For UFC 327, you'll see our winner, Pac-Man. He won $100, which I have not paid him yet, so he hasn't won it yet. But I'm eventually going to pay him because I owe him for a few events now. But if you want to compete for $100 once I'm not a brokey anymore and have paid Pac-Man, if you want to compete for that $100, you join tapology.com/groups/2048. Join my group. Make your picks. Win the numbered event like Pac-Man did. It's that simple. Wow. And then I'll send you money on CashApp. All you have to do is put your information down here in the pay-per-view winner cash prize. And then you'll be fucking sent money. Enjoy. Anyways, let's get right into breaking down these fights. We've got a heater as the opener. We've got Tatiana Allen-Kerr versus Julie Upholstery. And let's just get right into this. The coin's gonna go ahead and pick the Julie Upholstery. Not sure how we get it done here, but you know, she's had a career loss to Stephanie Luciano. Juliana Pilastri wins by decisions. We're going to play it safe. I think this is going to be a decision. Next, we'll move on to Max Griffin versus Victor Venezuela. A lot of people picking Venezuela to win here. And I'm just not going to be one of those guys. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I've underestimated the opponent we have here. He is a finisher, so maybe he comes in and finishes Max Griffin. But I just don't see it, man. I mean, Max Griffin does only win split decisions versus Jeremy Wells and Tim Means. This is a close fight with Chris Curtis, though. So I feel like that's a good enough sign. He is 40. I just don't trust the wins here, man, of Victor Venezuela. I'm not going to pick him. I'm going to pick Max Griffin by decision. Next, we move to the lightweight division. We have Francis Marshall versus Lucas Brennan. Yeah, I was pretty sure I didn't know who this Lucas Brennan guy was. A PFL and Bellator guy. Went over to fight for Fury FC. And has not fought the best of competition. I'm going to be picking Francis Marshall. We lose by decision if we are Lucas Brennan, so I think I'm going to be picking a decision here. This card is looking like a absolute heater so far based on my picks. Oh my goodness, we have another women's fight. We've got Jafel Fijo versus Cody Durden. Yeah, okay, makes sense. Jafel Fijo, he's gonna submit Cody Durden sometime in second round, first round, second round. Make sure Cody Durden's a little tired at least. Not much to break down here. Cody Durden, awful. Jafel Fijo only loses to like solid fighters, so not gonna lose here. Oh my God, we've got another one. There are just so many women's fights on these cards lately, and it's just hard to find the motivation to make picks when you've got just absolute heat like we have here. We've got Michelle Montague versus Mero Buenasilva. Montague looks like she gets submissions, so we'll see what happens here. I have a feeling the coin is going to pick perfectly here. I mean, wow. Look at that. Montague. So, I'm going to pick Montague. I mean, the coin is taking a risk here, definitely picking a girl who has such low level experience. But, we're going to pick Montague by submission. I feel like it's going to be a round 2 sub as well. Maybe round 1. Maybe she just cooks her right off the bat. But, this is going to be one of those women's MMA fights maybe that is the more exciting of the variants. You know, we have plenty of variants of women's MMA fights. The terrible ones, the ones that are low level and boring. You'll get low level fun. It's just, sorry fellas, I had to get rid of some of the Zen spit. But, even Lemon had to join. No, you stay. You stay here. So, coin picks Michelle Montague. I'm going to pick by submission. I think this will be one of the more exciting women's fights that is one of the lower level ones. Oh, speaking of low level fights. SD. Cedricus Dumas, the Reaper, if you will, versus Jackson McVeigh. I think I've picked every Jackson McVeigh fight to a T so far. Let's do a little studying in depth into Mr. McVeigh here. Where is he on this card? Spoiler alerts to the rest of the card. View my Jackson McVeigh predictions. Yeah, we've gotten both the Jackson McVeigh fights right. We've gotten that he got finished in round one by Fajeda and then submitted by Zachary Reese. Um, you know, he's just not good outside of being a framey opponent. Now, I have heard that he has switched to the MMA lab. And SD is just one of those guys who you don't really see improvements every time you go out there. I could see him wrestling him. I could see him getting that job done. SD shorter with a longer reach. Uh, I'm not really sure how those have been panning out lately. I haven't been paying too much attention. But shorter with a longer reach. Has been in the UFC longer. Has he ever beaten a dude of this level, though? That's 6-2. I mean, he beat Cody Brundage. Wow. What a performance. Lost to Josh Fremd, Nursultan, Michelle Olisashuk, and Dante Johnson. And he was on his way to losing the Zachary's fight. I'm going to pick Cedricus Dumas. And we're just going to keep the train running. We're going to go with submission. Round 1 or round 2? Let's do round 1. I think that Dumas is going to have the grappling advantage. I think he's going to actually use it because he does try to come out and wrestle pretty often. But who knows in this fight? Speaking of who knows in this fight, we've got Hidolfo Vieira, whose last fight was him getting KO'd by Bo Nickel. And then we've got Eric McConaughey, a dude who I would just say is not quite UFC level, yet he beat Cody Brundage. So he's in the UFC. He's lost to both Nursultan Ruzaboyev and Baisin Garcia-Surkayev by KO. He is a submission guy. I mean, Rodolfo Vieira went to decision with the great Trayshawn Gore. So this one's going to take me some time to think. I'm going to pick Rodolfo Vieira. I could see him getting a KO in this fight, but just by thudding him up. But I think we're going to get a takedown at some point and get a submission. I mean, it feels like this is a sub-heavy card if I've picked one for me. We're going to pick in the first round. I just don't think Eric McConaughey is a very good fighter. I don't think Rodolfo Vieira is a very good fighter either, but... And we're back. I mean, can Ryan Spann beat a guy who can wrestle? He went to a draw with Kennedy Netanyahu. He decisioned Boudet, though. I mean, my goodness, what a performance. You know, I'm going to pick Ryan Spann. I don't even know why I'm picking Ryan Spann. Could I see Ryan Spann getting heel hooked by Buchecha? At 36 years old. I think Spann's going to get a knockout in the first round. He might be too sloppy. He might be too shit. If he does not KO Buchecha, he's getting subbed. Moving into Montel Jackson versus Hani Barcelos. Montel Jackson coming off a split decision loss to Davidson Figueiredo. That being his last fight about 6 months ago. But before that, he was on a tear, just knocking people out and decisioning them as well. It's a tough fight to call, man. I've bet against Tony Barcelos in his old age so many times. And I'm gonna do it again. Like, it's only crazy until you get it right. Alright? Because at some point, like Marab, this dude's not gonna look like the ageless fucking wonder that he's been. Look, Marab ducked him here. You can see it. I mean, he beats good fighters. And Montel Jackson, let's see. Let's see what the record looks like. We lost to Ricky Simon early in the UFC career. I mean, it's a debut against Simon. Ricky Simon. Like, it's tough. You know what? I'm picking Montel Jackson by KO in round number 2. The likelihood of it is not very high. I'm going to just go ahead and claim it. Imagine Marab in a new body, in a Brazilian 39-year-old body, and that's what you've got right here. I just don't know if this dude's going to age. I don't know. The Brazilian supplements are too strong. Hani Barcelos gets this done, I'm never not picking him again. And then from then on, he's just going to lose, which is going to be great. I've got Montel Jackson by KO, round number 2. Don't know what possessed me to do it. Alright, next we move to the bantamweight division. And we've got the guy who beat Mark Vologden to get into the UFC versus Davy Grant. Unk's about to get it done, boys. Davy Grant's going to put a whooping on this kid. I'm just letting y'all know. He might get submitted, though. I mean, yeah, you know, Davy Grant's putting a whooping on this kid. Unk's going to show him what's up. He's going to land those hooks in tight, like he always does. And, Unk's going to give him those fisticuffs, tear him up. And, yeah, it's going to be a beautiful fight from Davy Grant here. I'm going to be picking by decision. Moving on to the next fight, we've got Rafa Garcia versus Alexander Hernandez. Rafa Garcia, if I'm not mistaken, last win coming off of Jared Gordon, who was hit by a car. I went over that in my breakdown of the recap. Had I known that Jared Gordon was going to be hiding the fact that he had been hit by a car, I would not have picked him. But he was hit by a car 24 hours, like less than a day before the fight started. So them keeping that from us, I think, was just bullshit. I don't think that should be allowed. I feel like that should be quite illegal. It's fight fixing in the sense of like betting terms. But anyways, Rafa Garcia won a fight where his opponent, had been hit by a car beforehand, and he looked like he had been hit by a car. and still performed well against Rafa Garcia. Alexander Hernandez on a big run here. This is the type of fight that Alexander Hernandez throws away. He's favored to win. He's on a good streak, and now he's come up against a guy who, not big of a name, not super skilled, but this is a fight I can see Alexander Hernandez losing. But I'm going to pick him to win. The streak he's on, I think he's going to KO Rafa Garcia in the first round. I just think he's going to land big shots on Rafa Garcia. He's a pretty early start. He's a pretty fast starter. He tends to slow down. I could see Rafa Garcia getting this done by decision if he doesn't get the finish in the first round. Him being Hernandez, by the way. But I've got Alexander Hernandez landing big shots in the first round, finishing Rafa Garcia by knockout. Next, we move to the co-main event of the evening, Battle of the Booty. You've got Norma Dumont versus Jocelyn Edwards. We will be studying this one very heavily. We will be recording this one for further fight study, and we will be studying it all with one hand. We've got number 4 versus number 6, at least based on Tapology's rankings. And let's get right into breaking this down, because I think this is going to be a solid fight. It's got Norma Dumont winning. All right. So, Norma Dumont, winner by decision typically. So we're going to pick decision. And, yeah, that's going to be the extent of how far we break this down. I think that, yeah, decision. Very clear. Next, we move to Yusuf Zalal versus Aljamain Sterling, the main event of the evening, the one that I find kind of hard to pick here. I've been picking the Unks get it done, huh? Not entirely, though. Aljo keeps looking so good at this weight class. Looked incredible against Movzar. If he gets the takedowns here, I see Yusuf Zalal surviving the submission game. So I can see at points where we're up on the feet and Zalal's landing some good combinations, poking at range. He did it himself say that Aljo's striking is difficult to get a read on. So I do think this is a very tough fight to call. Leaning Aljo is not a bad decision, I think. Especially, I don't know though, man. Yusuf Zalal making it in there with, surviving in there with Ilia Topuria. It shows he understands how to survive. He knows how to get dangerous opponents out of there in Josh Emmett. He's got good knees. He's got good range. His footwork's good. I think it's going to be hard for Aljo to get takedowns. I'm going to pick Yusuf Zalal. Now, how do we pick Yusuf Zalal is the question. Is Yusuf Zalal much of a finisher? Not really. But let's check into his past and see how he's done against grapplers. You know, I don't know. It's a tough one, man. His grappling has evolved. He's pretty solid. And my brain is super leaning, or heart is leaning Zalal, but brain's kind of leaning Aljo. He's on a 2-fight, not streak, but he's got 2 wins, 1 loss at featherweight here. He's been pretty inactive, once every 7 months kind of fighter. Zalal's been a good bit more active recently. It just kind of keeps things going if Zalal wins too. This is a tough fight to call, honestly. This is one that I just am not too positive on. 5'10" versus 5'7". It's gonna be easier for him to get in on the takedown attempts. I'm gonna pick Yusuf Zalal. I just don't know, man. Something's really making me like remember Aljo's good. Like, Aljo's a very good fighter, man. I am going to pick Yusuf Zalal. We're gonna stick with the pick. I'm gonna pick him by decision. I think Aljo's tough enough to make it through a decision with him. And let's go back over the picks. Yusuf Zalal by decision. Norma Dumont by decision. Alexander Hernandez by KO round 1. Davey Grant by decision. Montel Jackson by KO round 2. Ryan Spann by KO round 1. Rodolfo Vieira by sub round 1. Dumas by sub round 1. Montague by sub round 2. Philho by sub round 2. Francis Marshall by decision. Max Griffin by we did not pick that one out. Let's go with decision here on the Max Griffin fight. We've got Palastri by decision, and that is our picks. Save it. So, on numbered events, that's all you'll do. You'll make picks like I just did, and you'll have a chance to win $100 based on if you win the event or not. I split it if it's multiple winners. Anyways, like, comment, share, subscribe. That is it for today, guys, and have a great day. Enjoy the fights this Saturday. Goodbye.